Hello, this is Michael Kiske, and you're watching Metal Blast.
Coming out of nowhere, running from the rain, rocking on the groove, crying out again. Sing a little high, sing a little low. Everything we do comes down to rock and roll. Yeah.
You are the only member of Avantasia, with the exception of Tobias, that has been in the band since the very beginning, since the first metal opera.
Yeah.
Considering that at first there was skepticism about the band. I mean, for instance, Ronnie Atkins, when Tobias said, "Would you like to participate?" Tobias said that he was no. He was very clear on that. So what made you trust the project right away and just continue doing it?
I mean, when Toby asked me, I think, what was that? Was that 98 or something? 99?
More or less. I think the third metal opera came out in 2000 or 2001.
Yeah, I think when he called me up, that was the phase where I was very anti. I was like very, very anti everything, and I was not really willing to do anything like that. But I liked him. It was his attitude. Like on the phone, he kept calling me, and I just liked his attitude. So now I'm very happy that I actually said yes, because I'm really enjoying it, you know. But in those days, I was like, I was pretty fed up with everything, you know. And so I said, okay, I do it, but you call me Ernie. That's why I'm called Ernie on the first one. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Because right back then, you had decided to pretty much quit metal.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean everything. I was like I was just too many bad experiences over the years, and I was just sick of it, you know.
Actually, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you. Although it's an old story, what made you decide to one day say, despite the success of Helloween, that I gave Helloween, I'm done with metal, and what made you come back?
It was I think it was Avantasia, basically, really. Like I have been off stage for I think almost 17 years. So it's like I think I pretty much had the wrong image of what the scene really is like. There was a lot of things that came together, but it has to do with time passing. You know, getting over the anger, and but honestly, Avantasia was like a big help, because, like I said, it's a very easy bunch of people. You know, no stupid egos, no beating around the bush. They all like to enjoy this, and they made it very easy to go on the stage again. And when we played on the first tour in 2010, the response of the audience was really nice. And I think that kind of was the first step, really. I mean, in that matter, it's true that Costa from Unisonic was the guy who actually approached me first, saying, you know, we would like to manage you. We think you haven't been managed well and stuff like that. But the tour with Avantasia was actually the thing that I needed to do to feel comfortable again on stage, you know. When you haven't been doing this for so many years, I didn't even know if I would be able to do it, you know, what it would be like. And now I feel very confident, but it was something I just had to try out, and Avantasia was very easy to do. It's just a couple of songs to sing, stuff like that. So it's like it was basically Avantasia, I would say, and Costa, you know, these two.
But this is not the only opera project that you have. You're also working in Avalon with Timo Tolkien.
Right. Yeah, we didn't know what it would really be like. It was. I did a couple of things in the past. I think 2 times I was singing on stuff that he was doing in the past. Toby was supposed to be on that one too, but he didn't have the time. Yeah, I think I did one song, did I?
I'm not sure.
I think I did one song, yeah. He just wanted me to do one song, so I did it.
You have always a lot of projects going on, because you know, this Avantasia is Avalon. There's also Kiske Somerville, Plasmodome, and Unisonic as well.
Unisonic's my main band, and I wasn't sure if I would keep on doing these other things like Plasmodome or Kiske Somerville. But it's like, since everybody else in Unisonic is also doing other things, like Kai is doing Gamma Ray and stuff like that, like this year, there's nothing. We do nothing, you know.
We
With
spoke with Kai at the PPM, and he said that right now it's on ice because of gamma ray.
yeah, exactly. So I just decided instead of hanging around doing nothing, you know. I mean, those things have been quite successful. You know, it's like Plasma Dome has been very well received. Same with Kiske Summerfall. So we just do another record of both of these projects.
Okay, that was the question actually.
Yeah.
Is Plasma Dome and Kiske Summerfield going to release something new?
Yep. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing vocals for the third Plasma Dome.
And because of Kiske Summerfield?
Yeah, that's. I mean, they have to write the material first. That'll be, I would guess, to the end of the year.
Would you say are the benefits and also the shortcomings of, you know, as Tobias says, you know, having so many lead singers in the same band? Like,
It's weird for me. It's totally weird for me to be on stage, there getting warming off, and then you wait and you go on stage. It's pretty weird. But I think for the audience, it should be. I think it's quite interesting because it's like. It's almost like you have like 10 bands, you know, playing. I don't think that any other band could play over 3 hours and without boring the audience in the end.
I don't think I would stand up for 3 hours for any other band. Right?
See?
But yeah, and there's also kind of a bit of suspension of disbelief on the part of the audience because although they know that you're coming out, they know that everyone's coming out. It's still holy shit, he came out. It's there is a bit. The fact that you're hiding, so to speak, and then you come out, it's really something that gets the audience.
Yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant concept that he has brought up there. I don't know if he was aware what this was going to be, but it's like everywhere we play, Avantasia has been very well received, and the response is awesome. Honestly, this was a good night. I mean, we don't have bad shows, but it was not one of the best. We've had like killer shows, like where the audience was like absolutely nuts.
When you started with Avantasia, did you ever think that it was going to become this? Did you just thought that it's gonna be a side thing?
After the first tour, I did, yeah, because I think it's a really good band. You know, it's like the drums, the guitar together. I mean, just these three, I don't know, they have so much energy and they're very tight. You know, it's like I think it's a really good band. You know.
Besides the song that you are in, what would you say is your favorite?
My favorite song is Twisted Mind. I really love Twisted Mind. I would love to sing that one. On the last tour I had Dying for an Angel. Eric is doing that one. I'm really missing singing that one. But it's like my favorite, I think, is Twisted Mind.
Well, when you see what Helloween, do you mind a question about Helloween?
Don't mind. Yeah.
When you see what Helloween has become, and I asked the same thing to Kai, do you think that the level that they have reached is something that they managed to get in spite of your absence or because of your absence?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it's a totally different band, in my opinion. You know.
Do you think that after you and Kai left the band, the direction of Helloween was dramatically different from what happened before?
I haven't really followed it, to be honest with you. It's like it's an ego thing, and I kind of faded it out. I don't know what they have done. Just a few bits and pieces I saw here and there, you know.
So part of your disappointment, perhaps, with heavy metal came from the leading Helloween.
No, it's a big bunch of things. It has a lot to do with how creativity is treated, especially on the German Helloween metal scene. It's different in other countries. It's not. You can't really generalize the metal scene. Honestly, it's different in every country. When you go to Italy or Spain, it's a whole different world than like Norway or whatever. You know. I am a very spiritual person, and I believe in good, and that we're here for, you know, doing something beautiful. And I have a huge problem with this idealizing of evil that goes on in that scene. That was a huge portion of why I was pissed with it. And how I don't like it when you have... I mean, nowadays, when I look back at it, I understand a bit better why certain fans are in a certain way. I don't blame them, you know, if they like a certain record or whatever of a band, and the band changes, and then they're frustrated about it. I understand that from a fan point of view. But I think in terms of journalists and people who write for magazines and stuff like that, they should know a bit more about music culture. And I think music culture has a lot to do with expressing yourself and do what you think is exciting, you know? And it should not be the way that when you have been successful with a certain record, that you try to copy that record for the rest of your life, you know, just to keep the business going. I think that's artistically wrong, but in many ways in the metal scene, that's requested. And it's like, if you do something that's different, it doesn't even matter if it's good or not, you know, it gets destroyed in many ways. I'm not saying in every country, but it's like in Germany, I was like fed up with that attitude. I thought it was anti-music. Every music scene has to die if you're not allowed to move on and try out new things. I mean, I started making music, especially this type of music, because I was excited about certain bands. It was Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, you know, Metallica, these kind of bands that I thought were awesome, and they made records that I liked. And it was pure excitement for music. Why I started this, I never thought about success, or I never thought about business or anything in that direction. It was just pure excitement for music. I was very blue-eyed, you know, when I started doing that. And the first couple of years in Helloween was just a blast. It was awesome. I would say the first 4 years were like really great. And then things started to become more and more painful, you know. And there's a lot of things that came together. There will always be a conflict in me when it comes to the metal scene, because I like some of the music, you know, and I like most of the fans. I think they're really sweet and everything. But I will always be against this devil worshipping and idealizing of Satanism and things like that. That's something I would just. How can anyone hold that up? I think, how can anyone hold up an ideal like that, like inhumanity, brutality, and things like that? You know.
Personally, it bothers me as well.
I hate that stuff, but it's not the whole scene. There are lots of others, and that was very necessary for me to realize that there are lots of other people who agree with that, like hating that stuff too, or not taking it serious. It's like the majority of people that come to the Avantasia shows are very sweet people, very nice people, very friendly people. Same goes for Unisonic, and if that's the crowd that it's connected with metal, I'm fine with metal. And I like metal. I started with metal because I loved certain bands, certain music and stuff like that. But I will always be against idealizing inhumanity and brutality and things like that.
You know, it's a hypocrisy within the metal scene, which is that, because I'm an agnostic, I don't have a religion, but if you say that you believe in Christ, you're like,
I do.
But let me finish. If you say that you believe in Christ, people are like, "Oh, you're stupid. You believe in an imaginary friend."
Yeah.
I believe in Satan. Oh, all right. It's a ridiculous thing, because if you're going to ridiculize believing in a deity, believing in
there's a TV series called American TV series they produce. It's called I Survived, Beyond and Back. It's nothing else but interviews with people who have been clinically dead and left their body. And they have been on the other side, and they have seen angels, demons, all the kind of things, and they actually met Christ. He's there. He's not an illusion. It's just, you just have to find your way to it. I don't care about religions. I don't care about the church. But the spiritual side of our existence is a fact, and you just have to find a way to it. I'm not telling you what to believe. I don't tell anyone what to believe. But agnosticism just means that you've given up. That's all that it means. You've given up on truth. The thing is, you have to find a way to it. It's like, check out the TV series I'm talking about. It's like I Survived, Beyond and Back. It's just people giving interviews about what they have experienced. And many of them met Christ. He's not an illusion, he's real. He's the second Logos. I mean, I can't explain this stuff here now, but his materialism just means that you're cut off the spiritual world. That's all that it means. Agnosticism means you just cut off to the spiritual world. And that's just you know? Or whoever is an agnostic. It's just, it doesn't matter. You know, it's like you choose what you want to be, and you choose where you want to go.
Agnosticism is saying that the existence of non-existence of God, the existence of non-existence of God is beyond the ability of humans to.
Oh, he exists. He does exist.
Yeah, but I mean.
That's why you're there. You came from him, and you go back.
Don't feel offended by this quote, but Nietzsche said. A casual stroll through a madhouse proves that faith proves nothing. So I mean, just
Faith, yeah, sure. I'm not talking about faith. Not talking about faith. When you look at this series, the thing is, the people that they interview, they just have had experiences while being like the heart stopped, the brain was off, sometimes for hours. They should have been totally brain damaged, but they weren't. It's like I mean, this is just facts, and these people, when you really look at these interviews that they recorded there, not every case, but most of the cases, or some of the most exciting cases, you can really see it's not explainable in any other way than that the soul can be separated from the body, because they're like telling things that they could not possibly have known, things that happened in another room, like discussions that they had, instruments they were fixing or whatever. They could have seen, they saw everything and could replace, tell everything in detail what happened down there and stuff like that.
do you think that being a person of faith?
I'm not a person of faith. I'm a spiritual person.
Okay, believing in Jesus is faith.
Yeah.
Believing
No.
believing in
I know.
Okay, but
You think it's faith.
okay, but the thing about faith, I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that the belief in Jesus is faith.
No.
It's not
No.
fact.
It's a fact. You think it's typical agnostic. You don't know.
It's
I know.
but it's not even typical agnostic. It's typical.
But
from the very
you just the limit of your mind is not the end of the world. I know people who can see him. I know people who can see angels. What do you think they are, crazy?
It's very likely. Yes.
You see, that's arrogant, because your limit of mind is not the end of the world. But that's what you're doing.
No, but I mean,
That's what you're doing.
no. The thing is that not necessarily. And one thing, I'm not trying to offend you.
No, you don't. No.
But I mean, you have to understand that if I was to tell you that next to me right now,
Yeah.
is a unicorn.
that's not what I mean.
but
Just
that's-
let me say this. Just imagine, now you have like physical eyes, okay, where you can see like physical things. But just imagine that there are other organs in you, other eyes that you can train to see things. It's like even the physics these days know that there are other dimensions that are not physical. It's like they talk about 11 dimensions nowadays in physics that exist, but they're not physical.
But I mean, even the Catholic Church, when they speak about
They're very materialistic.
what?
The Catholics are the most materialistic.
No, but I mean, all the Christian.
I don't even think they're Christian.
The Christian is defined as the believing Christ as the Son of God.
Yes, he is. Second Logos.
Yeah, but the point is that that's like the requirement to be Christian.
No, not necessarily. I
Yeah.
honestly think you don't have to believe anything. If you really want to know, you can know. Your eyes can be opened, and you can see these kind of things.
You see that you're sounding like Tom Cruise when he was talking about Scientology.
Scientology is crap.
You know because you have to know, and it's.
You're a perfect example of someone who's like stuck in the material way of looking at things, and you think anyone who says anything above that you don't understand is like crazy,
We're living in a material world.
Not only that's what you see.
I am a material girl.
You are also a spirit, and you just have forgotten where you came from.
No, but the thing is that, for instance, when I was.
Remember my words. When the day comes that you die, okay? Remember my words. Whatever I would have said, it wouldn't have made a difference. But as soon as you die, as soon as you leave your body, you will see that all this is true.
Let's make a deal.
Okay.
If you die before me,
Yeah, I probably will.
you have to come and tell me.
Okay.
I was one.
But the thing is,
you were wrong.
what if many people try, but you can't hear it? Because your senses are closed. You have to develop certain senses to open them up. It's like if you learn mathematics, You can't start with like high mathematics. You have to start simple, in school. It's the same thing with spiritual things. You have to develop certain thinking, certain organs to be able to understand these kind of things. It's not something you can just judge like that,
I think I respect people of faith, or of fact, if you prefer to call it that.
I could give you a name. I could give you a name where you can learn that it's not faith. Rudolf Steiner. Have you heard about him?
Rudolf Steiner.
Yeah. He's actually the interesting thing about that guy is that he studied nature science and he was like a scientist and he was able to express certain things in a scientific way. He has written a book called, I don't know if it's the same title in English. In German, if I translate the German title in English, it's like...
Say the title in German.
In German, it's Wahrheit und Wissenschaft. It means like truth and science. And the other one is like the philosophy of freedom, Philosophie der Freiheit, which is like, it's philosophy, but it actually breaks the door open to the spiritual side of it. And I don't think that anyone has done it like that guy, like with your thinking power to understand that the spiritual world is actually the next step. And materialism is nonsense. If you really study nature science with an open mind, you see the spirit everywhere. There's no evolution. It wouldn't be any thinking. There wouldn't be any.
So you don't believe in evolution?
Of course, there wouldn't be any evolution without spirituality.
You believe in it?
Oh, sure.
Okay, that because that was when I was like,
forget about the crap of the that happens in America.
Okay.
It's like this is. I mean, I'm not like that. Of course, evolution is true, but
it was an important question.
Yeah. But that's how God creates.
Well, I was in a Catholic school, and surprisingly enough, my teachers they fill that gap very quickly. Like, ma'am, I would teach evolution and Genesis. That's how God did it. So very quickly.
These creationists in America,
yeah,
both sides are like ignorance. Both sides are ignorance. The materialistic science are ignorance because they ignore the spiritual side of our existence, and the religious people are ignorant because they ignore the physical side. The thing is, there wouldn't be any evolution without these intelligent spiritual forces making evolution. If there wouldn't be spirituality, there would just be a dead piece of stone in the cosmos and no evolution. You wouldn't be there, I would be here. We wouldn't talk.
But they have
both sides are true. Two sides of the coin, the physical and the spiritual.
I want to move on, but I cannot let this one go. They have replicated the same energy as the Big Bang. It was proven that...
Oh, the Big Bang is a fact, yeah.
No, but I mean that it can happen without celestial intervention.
Yeah. You think so?
We do live in a world that...
The materialistic world makes no sense at all. If you dig deep into the matter, in the end you have like atoms, atom, and electrons flying around. In the end you have just energy. That's all that's left in the end. And already you are in the spiritual world. Doesn't matter. Let's do other questions.
I'm really comfortable with this. Do you think that this sort of thing played against you within the metal community? I mean that.
I don't care.
No, but regardless whether or not you care.
Yeah.
Just as I mentioned before, which is there's this hypocrisy regarding religion. Do you feel that fans would see you differently if you're open? Now you will be about your beliefs.
I've always been open. I don't think that anything has changed, really. I've just spent a lot of time, like in the 17 years that I was off, I was reading so much stuff. I was dealing with like philosophy and nature science and all these kind of things. I had like a huge hunger for it, because I don't believe in prejudice. I don't believe in people who have answers quick right away and not even searching for answers. It's like I was like dealing with these things for years, and I had the time to do it, like the whole day, So that has changed. I have a lot more to tell when it comes to that. But my look at life and my basic approach to life hasn't changed. I don't think that anything has changed there.
For me it was very interesting when in Bloodstock, which is this festival in the UK, I interviewed a band called Watain. They are a Swedish black metal band known for being very satanic. And I asked the dude, like, do you believe in God? Yeah.
I know.
Why do you choose to worship the devil?
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, I mean, dude, I mean, there is no difference in believing in the devil or in my eyes.
They're both real. They're both real.
Okay, but in my eyes, it makes no difference whether you believe in
Sure, spiritual
God
beings.
or the devil.
Yeah.
But, like, dude, the only source we have on this very theoretical event is the Bible, and the Bible paints
Not really,
him as a
not really,
really
not
evil
really.
person.
Not really.
For Christianity, yeah, the Gnostic Gospels and the Bible.
Yeah, but it's a church. Don't identify Christianity with the church.
No, but really, there's no like director's cut of.
I don't think so. I honestly think there have been mysteries in all cultures over thousands of years, and
Yeah, Jesus existed 2,000 years ago.
yeah, you know, that's what the church has made up. It's like the thing is there are so many revelations. You know how the Bible came across. I mean, if you look at
The Council of Trent, right?
no, if you look at, for instance, the Apocalypse, the guy said very clearly they had a vision. You know, he saw something spiritually and he wrote it down. Like I said earlier, it's a question of getting your senses open. I mean, if you could develop certain spiritual senses, I mean, you could see angels, for instance. The series that I was talking about, like I Survived Beyond and Back. These people are like, because of an accident, out of the body, and suddenly they see this other dimension. And most of them, and some of them were not even religious. They didn't care about this stuff at all. After that, they are, because they've seen things.
But there is one thing about the Apocalypse. People have studied the symbolism within.
Oh, it means it's so difficult to get through that.
But for instance, they speak of purple, which was the color of the Roman Empire. They speak of the beast that was killed and that came back from life.
I don't want to get into that. Why I started this was how did he get to it, and it is always like a revelation. You have spiritual eyes opened and you can see certain things, which is difficult for us nowadays, you know, because we're very rational and things like that. But as more you go back, the further you go back in humanity and history, thousands of years, the more people had these senses open naturally. Nowadays we're very arrogant. We look at them and well, they were kids, you know, they were like fantasizing and things like that. No, they were not. It's like the whole Egypt culture, for instance, is a culture based on spirituality, you know, on certain things that they could still see. If you go even further back to the Zarathustra, Persia.
Yeah, Babylonian.
Yes, exactly. They like, it was completely based on spiritual information. And if you go back to the old India, it was even higher what they could see. It's like you can see like spiritual evolution. Like we went down, like the sin fall, from seeing all these kind of things. Like let's say we were in heaven in a certain way, like spiritual beings. We fell down into the physical dimension, lost all spirituality, became individuals, forgot about God, and now we're supposed to get back up. And I think that's where we are. But it depends on you, me, on every individual. No one can do that for you. If you want to know, if you really want to know, you will find answers. If you're ready with certain prejudice, or if you want to be an agnostic or an atheist or whatever, that's what you be. And that's how you live, that's how you die. But it's up to you, you know? I honestly believe that if you want to know, honestly, you can. And I think that's what Christ meant when he said, when you knock, it gets opened. When you ask, you get answers. It really is like that.
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go.